Good morning and happy new month. It is December, would you believe it or not? Well, welcome to Motivation Monday, where we share inspiring stories and have challenging conversations. It is so good to see you or to have you on this show. Thank you so much for being a part of this conversation today. We have something exciting that we are talking about, and this month here at Family, we are all about Christmas, because it is only 24 days away from Christmas, and we would love to ensure that we keep everything related to that. And so today's topic is actually keeping the spirit of Christmas alive. Keeping the spirit of Christmas alive. And we are talking about just this idea of service and generosity, especially because we who are Christians believe that one of the things that makes Christmas possible is that the Lord Jesus came not to be served, but to serve us and to redeem us from the shackles of sin, that we might find freedom in Him. And so this morning, I have the privilege of having somebody from Committee Youth Correctional Training Center, KYCTC, that deals with those who are in juvenile offenders who've been incarcerated. And so today we'll be talking about service in that front. And this is to encourage us, to motivate us, that we can do something in whatever spaces that God has placed us in. We can be of service to humanity around us. And so it is my joy and pleasure to have Samuel Wanjiro, who serves as a Protestant chaplain at KYCTC, Committee Youth Correctional Training Center. And so we'll be hearing more about that in a few minutes. But we'd love to hear from you throughout the show. And so please feel free to get in touch with us on our WhatsApp line 0786 316 316. And also for those of you who are watching us live on YouTube, you can drop a comment in the chat section. Well, thank you so much, and karibu sana. Good to have you on the show.
Thank you.
Yes.
Yes.
Maybe just do a small, brief introduction of yourself. Tell us a little bit about who you are, if you have a family, and all those kinds of things.
Thank you very much, Telly.
Yes.
You have said I'm Samuel Wanjiro. In fact, it's Samuel Nganga Wanjiro.
Yes.
I'm a chaplain at KYCTC. I'm a father, a husband, and a servant of the Lord.
Amen.
Serving in the vineyard of God, only serving in a different scope, like people know of servants serve in prison like churches.
Yes.
Ours, we serve behind the bars. Yes.
Yeah. And you know, there's nothing more important, by the way, because I think if you remember the words of Jesus, it says in Matthew 25, you know, towards the end,
Yes.
He says, I was in prison and you did not come to visit me. He's talking to those who will be called the goats, so to speak.
Yeah.
But the sheep are those who actually come and care for those in prisons.
Sure.
And stuff like that. Just tell us a little bit about your journey of entering this service.
My journey, I've been there for the last this is my fourth year, serving behind bars. Prior, I was serving with the Kenya Anglican Church.
Okay.
And while I was serving, there was obvious an advert. There is a slot, and I applied, and I found myself working there.
Yeah.
And it is one of the best places to work, because you are serving out of passion. Not the motivating factor is the passion behind serving these people who are behind the bars, and above all, getting the reality of how our society is, because we get a clear reflections of what our society is, because the men behind the bars, these are people who have their freedom has been curtailed, but when you are serving them, there is that fulfillment, there is a gratification, the joy you get when you are serving these men who are behind the bars. I'm talking of men because purely I'm working with men, and with young men specifically, convicted who are below 21 years, and remandees who are 18 years and below at Committee Youth Collective Training Center. Yes, this has been my short journey, but it has been more fulfilling than all other years of my service before.
Okay.
Yes.
And I do want us to get into a little bit of that, just however much you're able to share. So first of all, tell us about the work or the service that goes on at KYCTC. Just what leads people there? How do you have juvenile offenders? Who are the youngest that you have there? Just how do people end up there?
The juvenile offenders are simply those below the remandees. They are simply below 18 years. who are in conflict with the law.
Okay.
Not really they are criminals, they are in conflict with the law in one way or the other.
Okay.
They are not criminals.
Yes.
And because of their case and they did something, they picked a phone, somebody's phone, they picked somebody's, just a small item, they find themselves in such a situation.
Yeah.
And these are young, just people, just like any other young person in our society, can find him or herself in such a place. So it's not that they are criminals,
Yes.
they are just that they're in conflict with the law. Yes.
Okay. What are some of the stories that, and you don't, of course, you can't share any names and stuff like that, but just it's always good to have a bit of detail, in a sense, in understanding how people end up there. What are some of the stories that you've had of these juveniles who are in conflict with the law that you are able to share?
Maybe I can just give us a bit of scope as to why these young people find themselves there. Yeah. It is as a result of dysfunctional families that we have in our society. Okay. This leads, maybe a boy was left with no parents. So he has to earn a living, he has to survive. The parents are there because of mother and father, they were not able to live together. The boy finds himself in the street. These three boys you see here. So they snatch your phone, you scream, and they find you find what the next thing they find them either mob justice or police arrest this boy, and after the court being taken to the court, he is remanded there or convicted there, depending on the nature of the depending on the process that is taking. He might be brought there when he has been convicted, or he might be remanded there for a few days awaiting the sentencing. Okay. Yeah.
And you kept talking about remandees. That word, just define that for us. What do you mean?
Simply, they are unconvicted. They are not yet convicted, awaiting conviction.
So they've not gone like before a court of law.
They have gone, and maybe they are waiting for their conviction because it is not instant. It may take 1 week or a few days before.
Okay.
Yes.
Okay. And thank you for just giving us a little bit of flesh around understanding what that is. So, of course, we are talking about keeping the spirit of Christmas alive.
Yes.
And Christmas, many things, of course. One of it is just celebrating the reason for the season, celebrating the fact that God has come down in Jesus to save us, and to, break free us from the shackles of sin and death and Satan, right? And so that's one of the things that we just, celebrate during Christmas. And of course, we're talking about service now. And you are in the service of serving these young people who found themselves in conflict with the law. I like that phraseology, so to speak.
Yes.
Just tell us a little bit about, you've talked about this being like your most fulfilling season of your life, of your service.
Yeah.
What have been some of the highlights? What have been some of the things that you have seen? Are there stories of impact that you have seen? Tell us a little bit about your work.
Especially a season like this, we as Christians, we are celebrating our Savior who came because of our sins. And most of the time, we always think the people who are behind the bars, they are the sinners. Teddy, I'll tell you for free that maybe that's why you have saints. Sinners are outside here. And I always tell people that when in churches, in our open churches outside the Mamlaka church where you worship, you always preach the gospel according to John, James.
Yeah.
That is according to the gospel, the four gospels.
Yes.
But here we say that these young men, they always teach you the gospel according to reality. This is what happened. I'm here and I've been convicted as a person. The Spirit of God has convicted me. I'm a changed and transformed person. He'll give you a story of his transformation. And for sure you see that this is the little gospel. We've read about Peter, we've read about Paul. But when you listen to the stories of these young men, they always give you a story of a reality. This is whom I was, and this is whom I am today. I came here when I've never read the word of God at all. But today I'm able to speak about Christ. So during this season, it is a season of even us as a society to reflect and also visit and even want to know more about what happens to these people. You can interact with those who are already integrated back to the community, or you can even do a visit and visit them. And when you visit them, you try to learn more and also have an understanding of what are these small things that, especially men, can put us behind the bars. Because many other times we think that the things we do, they are not the same things that have taken these men there. It's the same things that we are doing day in, day out. Overlapping kwa barabara kidogo pale. Young men, they have some small relationships with girls, and they are both minors. And if the young boy is in the prison, and the girl is still in school because of those small relationships. The ones we did, even us, while we were in high school, we had a girlfriend who was far away. And even, in fact, ours had evidence because they were letters we were writing. But for them, out of those small relationships, some of them have found themselves in such places.
Okay.
Yes.
Wow, wow. And it's really just very mind-boggling, I would say.
Yes.
To think that sometimes, as you said, we can also be in conflict with the law, but it has not caught up with us.
Sure.
In a sense. And so you find those who've actually been in conflict with the law and found themselves behind bars. When you have talked to these boys, what has life behind bars looked like for them?
For them, one is the denial of the privileges and rights we enjoy outside here. We have the privileges of all through we've enjoyed the freedom.
Yeah.
The freedom of you are free to do what you want. There, everything is controlled. You are controlled what you do every now and then. You don't wake up and decide what to do. You don't wake up and decide where to go.
Yeah.
You don't wake up and decide what to eat. So everything is determined by the law that governs the place. Yeah, unlike when we were in school, sometimes you could even have a negotiation. Here, sometimes the law is well defined for you. These are the time for waking up. This is the time for meals and all that.
Yeah.
The freedom that we are denied, they are denied with the outside. It is one of the things that when you share with them is that this is what mostly that they are lacking. Yes.
Okay.
And the benefits, obviously benefits. Freedom comes with a multitude of benefits. Those benefits are not there.
Wow.
Yes.
I think we take that for granted sometimes until it actually happens.
Yes, yes.
And you realize, wow, it is a good thing to be free. It is a good thing to have the freedoms and to, sort of celebrate them and to enjoy all the things that freedom sort of affords you. Hey, please feel free to send us a thought or a comment or a question as we're talking about keeping the spirit of Christmas alive. And we're talking about especially just service to others around us, because that's what, as Christians, we celebrate and enjoy. The fact that God has come to serve us, would you imagine, through Christ in order to save us from sin and to, redeem us. And that, in a sense, propels us and motivates us to serve others in whatever space. And today we are talking with Pastor Sam Wanjiro, who is the Protestant chaplain at Community Youth Correctional Training Center, a place where juvenile offenders, find refuge in a sense as the Lord tries to help them in their reformation journey. So please do share with us even just your stories of service. You can SMS us on our WhatsApp line, that is 0786 316 316, or you can leave a comment on the chat section of our YouTube live. And so feel free to leave a comment, a thought, or a question there. Pastor Sam, I'd like us to just come back to this conversation and sort of talk about now the ministry angle of what you do. Right? What exactly are you trying to accomplish, and how do you accomplish it, especially in trying to help these young men reform?
Basically, what we usually do, I've said usually do because we are a team. I'm not alone.
Yes.
And when we are working, the first thing is that receiving this boy who has suffering from a kind of immediately the shock of arrival into such a place. There is a loss and grief. So this boy, you have to journey with him through the process of a loss and grief, just like somebody who has lost an organ of the body. Imagine somebody who has lost a heart and used to have that heart. So you have to take to walk with this journey with this person and let the person understand the process that what is expected of him. Some of them try to, like, they harden their heart, and they think that I'm able to maneuver this, but you have to walk a journey with this person through the process of, some of them have anger issues. Immediately in their life, they are annoyed with themselves because of what has happened. Others, they are bargaining with the current situation. Were it not for A, B, C, and D, I will be here. So you have to go journey with them. Then they reach that point of accepting, and then they are able to adjust and live there. So as you, as a Christian, as a boy whom you want to pastor through the process, you have to start from the process of, you have to accept this is the reality. So you deal maybe with the anger issues at the beginning. This boy is bargaining, seeing the failures of the parents, seeing the failures of the society, even the failure of himself. Then once you're able to overcome the two, the anger, the bargaining aspect, then you're able now to be able to help this boy accept the reality and adjust to live there for the short period or the long period, the boy, because he'll be there. Because we may talk of short period. Somebody, 1 week is a short period. To another person, 1 week is like 10 years, because you see, like, 1 hour is like almost a whole day. So sometimes you start with them once they are alive. At the inception, that is where we start. We're starting to journey with this boy from the beginning. And maybe this is a boy who has just been disconnected from the society. He was in school. Maybe this person was somewhere doing his normal kibarua somewhere. So you start with just dealing with the person immediately upon arrival. Then obvious after that, when as he will take him through the process, there are programs that we learn there. It's just like any other place where you find that there are so many programs. There are informal skills that are equipped with. There are formal, there's formal education from CBC to high school, and there are others who have never gone to school. So you have to come and bring, try to remold, go back to the crossroad, remold this boy, remake him kind of, sometimes it's not us, but it's Christ through us. He is able to remold this boy. We're able to journey with them through the process. And maybe even do that aspect of behavior change. His perception towards life is worked on during the process. Yes.
Okay.
Yeah.
And in terms of just the programs that you say for learning skills and stuff like that, do you do that yourself? Is that, are you doing it in partnership with people? And also just in terms of especially counseling and working with these boys and discipling them, just give us a bit more flesh about how exactly that happens.
We have the staff who does the aspect of training, but the partnership with the community, the churches. In fact, churches have always been our major stakeholder. They'll come in, bring tools for training, mechanic. We're doing a small part of mechanic that is small, not just basics, not the detailed one. We are doing welding, we are doing plumbing. So those are basic skills that they get. But mostly the partnership is from our stakeholders. Mostly they are churches.
Okay.
Yes.
Excellent. And so there's an opportunity there for, you know, organizations and churches to stand alongside the work that you're doing, right, and to help.
Yes, like Mamlaka Church has been there for the longest. Sitam Church, a number of deliverance churches, Bulbul, Kawasukali, they have been there partnering with that day in, day out. And also they not only support the skills, some of them they come in hard when we are doing the integrating boys back to the society. We journey with them. Yes.
Okay. Thank you so much for that, and it's actually a very good thing to know, because I hold the thought and the idea that really when God allows us, especially to visit this last, the least and the lost, people that we don't normally interact with on a regular basis, then we have opportunity to actually serve others and to look at those who've lost those freedoms, and to be of service to them. We have a couple of minutes just before we go on a short break.
Okay.
And I want us to maybe just highlight a little bit of, are there any particular success stories that you yourself have come across that you can celebrate today and say, wow, the work that we are doing is actually benefiting society and benefiting these boys?
Yes, there are so many success stories with boys who came there, or they are long gone. They had just been up to high school. They had dropped from high school, and through the partnership of various stakeholders, we are able to work with this boy. Some of them are already working after high school, campus, and all that. We have others who they went for the skills training. We have some who are in colleges doing and polytechnics. Those are successive stories where you see somebody who came and has lost hope completely, but you've been able to journey with this, and he has gone back to the track. So you are waiting, maybe at some point these boys are able even to come back and be a motivational speakers to others and speak to them and tell them, young men, I was here. This whatever you are doing, this is what I was doing. I was even worse than you, but today here I am. I can earn a living, I can be able to sustain a family and all that. So we have very good and very many successive stories of boys who have gone through the process. We've gone back to the track, and here they are today. They are dependable people in the society. Yes.
Okay. Excellent. That's really, really good and encouraging to hear.
Yeah.
You know, and it's good to know that actually the work that you're doing is benefiting the society. And in terms of, you know, sorry, I know you've sort of touched on this, but in terms of reintegration, does that always work well? Do you have people who maybe, in a sense, leave and then come back? Just tell us a little bit about that.
You see, this is just a normal society. And a normal societies, there are always drawbacks, where some challenges, where somebody you thought you worked on him very well, but in one way or the other, there is an area you never touched on. So you find that there is that relapse. He may go back maybe to not really climb, but he may just go to the normal life he used to live. Because maybe this person was from one part of the Eastland and he goes back to the Eastlands. So the same grouping he was in, he finds himself there. So chances of him being rearrested are very high. So he can always find himself in the same place in another time. But maybe up to 5%, not many cases. Yes.
Okay. Well, thank you so much for joining us and for being part of this conversation today. We are talking about keeping the spirit of Christmas alive, and we are talking especially about serving others, serving humanity just as our Lord Jesus served us. And we are talking to Pastor Sam Nganga Wanjiro, who is the Protestant chaplain at Committee Youth Correctional Training Center. Well, we'll take a short break and listen to Boaz's Were, a story of impact and partnership with Family Media, and then we'll be right back after the break.
Mimi naitwa Boaz Were, a father of two, a son, an uncle. Nafanya welding and fabrication, and pia carpentry kidogo. Nasema mimi ni believer and I believe in God, and though saa zingine I trust a little bit, I try a little bit and there to trust in God, but saa ingine unajua situation eyes zetu zinatu deceive, but sisi tunajua hati yetu kuna God mwenye ana work. Hapo nyuma before niko na workshop, sasa nilikuwa na kijana tu wa kazi mobile phone here and there, si ndio? So nilikuwa nashinda pia kwa nyumba, but kushinda kwa nyumba pia in a way ikanipea chance ya unapitanga tu kwa TV, then una Family Media channels zote za zingine ubo. So through hapo unapata kuna pastors, maana kuna pastors pia si church moja, church ni different, unaona. Then si ati tumestick kwa mtu mmoja vile nasema. So unajua pia church kama ni different, pia unaona kuna watu wengi ni different. Hapo kuna perspective mingi, unaona. Then una get kupata kitu clearly vile unataka. Joseph Prince amenifunza vitu mob. Kuna Joseph Prince, kuna Joyce Meyer. Joyce Meyer naye ameniambia the hard truth. Unaona, not everyone is gonna like you. Unaona. Stephen Fatik nizona hata na marafiki zangu. Kuna mabeshte zangu wanananga juu anavaa chain. Unaona? Because unasema huyu kuna kidogo anaweza relate na mimi, unaona, because unaenda ule amevaa suti, ule amevaa ana look holier than thou, unaona, but kuna Stephen Fati kama amevaa kama mimi, kama unaona, then tunaona I can listen to this guy, si ndio? Better together. Hiyo na late night poa sana, unaona. Kuna morning devotion, no. Ina to impact vizuri sana. It's vital that we support it, because if we don't, the same way that they reached me, someone else wants them. No. Someone else is in need of them more than I do. Mimi wamenisaidia, unaona, mali nimefika, wamenisaidia, unaona. Lakini ingekuwa like something wanaweza niacha, hata tuseme ingekuwa ni mali wanaweza niacha, mimi naweza kusema niko fiti. But there are those people who we never meet, unaona, those who are in need. Even today, unaweza pata there's someone who wants to commit suicide, right? We know the challenges of the world. Today is worse than how it was yesterday, right? So today we might have someone who wants to maybe commit suicide, right? And they're gonna say, okay, before I do this, let me do one more thing. Mungu nipe a sign. God give me a sign. Okay? If you're truly there, give me a sign. Okay? And then you're gonna find that person either on the remote or even with the phone. Okay? Unaweza kuwa na scroll, unaweza patana na family media, hata kwa TV, unaona. Hiyo moment anaweza kuwa wamefanya, anaweza kuwa Doria moment, because the right place at the right time, unaona. Unaweza pata pastor mwenye ana preach hapo the exact word for that moment, the Rema word, the exact word for that moment.
We invite you to become a partner with us by making a donation to M-Pesa pay bill number 316 with your phone number as the account number.
God is telling you to give, not for his own benefit, but for your benefit. Okay? Giving opens doors that you can't even imagine. And by doing this, you're not just giving, but rather you're helping. There are those people who are out there, okay, who have never heard of Jesus. Okay? Maybe they have heard of him, but hakuna mtu ashawafafanulia and explain to them who Jesus is, okay? But by supporting Family Media, we get to see that we're not just supporting people, but we are supporting missionaries, okay? It is bigger than us.
Well, a warm welcome back to Motivation Monday, where we share inspiring stories and have challenging conversations. And today we are talking about keeping the spirit of Christmas alive. One of the things that I think Christmas encourages us to do in this festive season is to serve others, is to look at those who are the last, the least, and the lost, and people who are disenfranchised in society, and give a helping hand. And today we are talking with Pastor Sam Ng'ang'a Wanjiru, who is the Protestant chaplain at Committee Youth Correctional Training Center, which is a place where juvenile offenders or those who are in conflict with the law go there for rehabilitation and for them to just, be trained up and reintegrated back into society. And what a conversation. Hey, we would love to hear from you, your thoughts, your comments, your questions. Perhaps you've had an experience, working with some of this juveniles who have been in conflict with the law. Share with us a story. Somebody here who is Hannington Mushera actually asks, hey, hi Pastor Ted, is it possible to share the contacts of the chaplain? And I actually asked him and he said, hey, my number is very public. So if you'd like to get in touch with Pastor Sam, I can share his number. This is 0724 042 178. That is 0724 042 178. And I think one of the things that he has shared is that there are opportunities for partnerships with churches and organizations that help, for instance, first of all, to just train these young men and to help them learn a skill. Some of them, as you've heard, come from dysfunctional homes. So perhaps they are not even able to, really get something for themselves. Some of them are really going into crime or petty crime because of the circumstances that life has dealt with them. So maybe there could be an opportunity there for us to serve those who are in society who have found themselves in conflict with the law and are young and need our protection and our support. Now, I want us to talk about something, and thank you so much for this conversation is really even enlightening for me, just to know, some of the work that needs to be done in this country. Let us talk a little bit about the boy child. What have been some of your reflections as you've looked at the work that you do as you serve Utumishi kwa Wote? What have been some of your reflections on just the place of the boy child in our society?
Teddy, for the longest, and when I talk of for the longest, it's for the time we've been here, not here, but in this nation.
Yes.
We know that the society has been girl child, just thinking about girl child, empowerment of girl child. But one thing is that during all this time, we've neglected the boy child. And I always say that the reflection we see it in our society. Go to our normal churches. You were in church yesterday. How many ladies, young girls were there? How many young men were there? You always see the ratio of 1 boy, 4 girls, or 25%.
Yes.
Now, where were the boys? They were outside there. What was happening? Were they being impacted with the light knowledge, or the world was impacting on them? They were getting information as this girl is being trained and taught in the right way. You go to the children ministry, as young as below 10 years, the boys and the girls, the ratio is almost 1:1. But between 13 going up, the ratio start going unproportional. The ladies remain constant, but the boys, the numbers are going down. The society, to me, has totally neglected the boy child. So many programs that are done in this nation, they are all about girl child. And as a result, what has happened? The boy child has been left with no mentors. Even in our churches, we don't put a lot of effort towards the boy child, mentoring this boy from day one. And I've always asked myself, look at this scenario. The ratio of single parenting is going high. Who is taking care of this boy, telling him that one day you become a father? This is what is expected of you. Generally, the society have neglected the boy child. And this is out of what I'm seeing day in, day out. Go like this morning when I was coming, there are so many boys in the streets from Eastrads, even within the CBD. These boys have been neglected, and it is our role, starting with we in the church, to ensure that we carry out mentorship programs that will help this boy as young as below 10 years, that to understand whom they are. The society or the world outside there have taught them to conform to the patterns of the world. But we as in the church, we've failed to help them to conform to the pattern of Christ Jesus. They become Christ-like. Just like Christ was brought up, how can we be able to help our boys? And the reflection, we get it directly in KYCTC. The number boy in, boy out. Every day, it's 2 are coming in, 3 are going out. 5 are coming in, 2 are going out. 8 day in, day out. So as a result of that, we have to ask ourselves as a society, at what point did the lane start beating us? Where do we neglect this boy child? We need to go back to the drawing board and ask ourselves, in the 21st century, how are you able to deal with the young people? How are you not really, when we talk of this, I'm talking of those who are below 18 years. How are you able to journey with them, to transform their minds, that they may be renewed and understand whom they are, and they're able to walk this journey? Because unless somebody who has walked this journey holds their hand, they cannot be able to walk. And this is the total reflection, the true reflection, you find it in KYCTC, that these boys have been neglected. And I don't see these numbers going down unless we, especially men, accept there is a challenge and we be ready and willing to deal with it. The ambitions that can be carried out before these boys find themselves there. Sometimes we tell you to see somebody, a neighbor's boy, he is just loitering. Nobody who is willing to walk the journey with him. Now, unamuona to not minding that this is the next seed in our society. 10 years down the line, he'll become a father. Will he be able to stand in for the family? So generally, the failure goes back at the society level. That's where we have failed. And you realize that even when You go to police stations, you find that so many men were arrested yesterday, Saturday, and even on Friday. Very few ladies were arrested. You go to the prisons, the number for men, they are not proportional at all. You can, in fact, maybe is only 1:10. So what is happening to our society? The numbers of men who are suffering are going high. The society has never been fair to men, and unfortunately, it is men who are making the society not fair for men, not ladies. It is men who are making the society not fair for fellow men. So we have to have a conversation, maybe at a semi tent as men, and ask ourselves, what do we do? How do we deal with this? And we can start as small as me and you. Then we are able to do it at a personal level. Then when we meet up here, we have been able to cut the numbers of young men who are finding themselves in conflict with the law. Yes.
Wow. You know, it's amazing. As I was growing up, I remember that people used to, like for instance, a neighbor could actually punish you.
Yes.
Could discipline you, so to speak.
Yes.
And if they disciplined you and they took you to your parents would discipline you in front of them to let them know that I agree with that discipline.
Yes.
And then now when that person has gone, they would discipline you now for themselves.
Yes.
In a sense. And I think that, in a sense, told us that the society cared about us.
Yeah.
But now we have lost that. And it's so interesting that you should share just how, we've sort of neglected the boy child, and now even just we've become very individualistic in a sense. And I think you're sharing some really powerful things here that we could think about. Are there any programs? Are there any ways any practical ways that you feel we can actually start doing this, caring for the boy child, so that we don't end up, in a sense, in this situation that we're in?
One thing, monkey see, monkey do.
Okay.
These young men, they must see us doing it. We are in a society that currently they have nobody to see they do it. Unfortunately, our young men, they are being brought up by by ladies.
Yeah.
Not saying that they are the weaker sex, but that is a reality. If you go to even as low as the children minister in our churches who are teaching these boys.
Yeah, that's true. That's true.
So there is some failure in our society, so we failed. So we have to do some, let men be available. First thing is that we must make ourselves available. That is at the lowest level. Then as we go up there, we ask ourselves, how can we start nurturing these young men, still being available for them? Let them just ask that question that they can ask. And when now we come in, like in our facility, you realize that there we are men. We try now to show them what should have been done while they were below 10 years. And they will be like, you mean this is where the failure came in?
Yeah.
And as you start talking with them, they realize that the society, yes, failed me, but I'm not now willing and ready to blame the society. I accept also my failure, and I'm able to move on. But at the same time, what can we do as early as now, such that we don't wait until that time when these boys, they find themselves behind the bars? So what we can do is that I always feel like that at a society level, there is a lot we can do. And maybe church, we have to ask ourselves if today we are able to change and transform all these boys we are seeing in the streets, how beautiful will be our churches. How beautiful will be our churches. Maybe we need to equip them with the right knowledge, with the right mindset, and understand whom they are. Because at the end of the day, as you started that we are in the season of Christmas, where Christ himself sacrificed for our sake. What about us as men? If we decide to sacrifice for the fellow men and do something that can be able to transform and change them, outside, and even those who are outside there, and even those who are at KYCTC and other places, not only KYCTC. So what can you do as a person and be able to change the life of these young men? I'm talking of men because I'm always very passionate, because I know these are the seed carriers. So if there is no seed, then there will be no production. Then society will always have a weaker, will be always charged. So very passionate about when I'm speaking about the boy child. There is something we need to do, and that thing is we start addressing the issue that we neglected as men and also as a society. And because I belong to the church, I always say that it is the church, because it is at the church where the family starts. We come and meet at the lowest level, families congregate together. So at church, we can be able to address these issues very easily, because if the person in the church is addressed, he takes the same back to the house. So I always feel that it is us that we stopped addressing issues. And as you have said, sometime back, you could be punished by your neighbor, teacher, and sometimes they could even do a collabo, parent, teacher, and the neighbor. But today, there's somebody just pinch your child, utatoka na lungu, to attack the person, not knowing that he is also helping you to do what you failed to do. So maybe the society have to look at it and say, how can we be able to deal with this issue, because it is an issue. It's only that we may not accept, but it's an issue that can even be declared as a national disaster, because it's an issue that the numbers are going high. The gangs are raising up every day in our Istras and in various places. How are we able to address? And those gangs, you find one girl, 20 boys. And even the girl who is there, he is at the back behind. In the front line, they are boys. So when there's something that we as a society, we have to come together and address this issue. Yes, and accept there is a problem. We must accept there is a problem. Yes.
Okay, wow. You know, I just remembered something kind of funny. I think recently the president was saying that everyone who is over 25, you know, should be encouraged to marry, especially the young single men. And I don't know whether that's something that, you know, is happening a lot, especially in our society, that people sometimes maybe like delaying marriage, quote unquote, if you want to talk about that as late. But anyway, the point is, I think you've raised some really, really important things, and just for us to really think about how we're empowering the boy child. And I like what you said, monkey see, monkey do. We need to be available so that people actually have an idea of what manhood is. They won't become men if they don't know what becoming a man looks like. And we need to showcase that to them. If I could ask you, what motivates you to serve these boys?
What motivates me to serve these boys? I think my ministry throughout, for the past over 20 years, I've worked with the young people. Started with high school teaching, and in high school, these are young men whom equal to the one I'm serving today. And all through, when I was teaching, I've seen even in school, when there is a case, kuna case iko hapa involving the society, the first suspect is a boy. In any you know, was just a setup of our society. The first suspect is a boy, and even maybe the root cause was a girl. These days, you find that girls are approaching boys for a relationship. Lakini wakipatikana, who is the first culprit? The boy. What motivates me every day is to ask myself, if I'm not available for these boys, and God has called me for a time like this, a season like this. That's why I was not born 40 years ago. I was not serving. I'll not be there 100 years later to come. God has called me for a season like this. I must perform what God sent me to do. And I'm always motivated by the words in Jeremiah 1:5 that I knew you. So God knew me. And because he knew me, he consecrated me. then ordained me. So he consecrated me for a season like this. So I always ask myself, because God sent me for a season like this, what am I doing?
Yeah.
If I miss the mark, if I miss what the Lord has called me to do, then it means I will have I have damaged or destroyed a whole generation. So it motivates me just to go and transform just one boy every day. If I wake up, if today, after here, if I go to my place of work and I just meet one boy, sit down with him, have a talk with him, I'm able to change his mindset. I'm able to make him, because we are a sum total of our thoughts. So if I'm able to interfere, I'll deliberately talk of interfere with his thought pattern.
Yes.
If I'm able to change his thought pattern, and be able to make this boy be able to reason differently, that some of them will tell you that if I see you with a good phone, with an iPhone, it always comes into my mind that you're not supposed to have that phone. Or that phone that you have is supposed to be mine. Or why is it that you have and I don't have? This phone is supposed to be mine. You are not worthy to have that phone. Number 3, why is it that you have a phone and I don't have? So as they try to answer those 3 questions, then they snatch the phone. So if I'm able to interfere with that thought process, that for you to be having that phone, you must earn. Why don't you start small and grow? Accept whom you are. If I'm able to change the mindset, that it gives me joy. It gives me gratification. If I go and sleep, I'm happy that, thank you, Lord. What you sent me to do, I've done it. So my motivation always comes from transforming and changing the life of just one person in the society. There is a story that has always been narrated about the hummingbird by Wangari Maathai. She used to say that there was fire in the forest and all the animals ran away. The elephant with his trunk could not fetch water, but this little hummingbird could go and get water and drop. Come thinking that it is able to extinguish the fire. So I always see myself like that small hummingbird, that if I just change one, not today, 2. If I change one today, I know I've done my part.
Wonderful.
And I don't look what others are doing. I don't think about what others have failed. My motivation is that Jeremiah 1:5, that God knew me, he sent me, he consecrated me, and then ordained me, that he sent me for that specific purpose.
Thank you so much. Asante sana, 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 sana indeed. That has been a wonderful conversation, keeping the spirit of Christmas alive, and that's Pastor Sam Ng'ang'a Wanjiru, who is the Protestant chaplain at KYCTC, Kenya Youth Correctional Training Center. Well, we hope that this motivates you to serve somehow, and that the Lord uses you indeed in whatever space he places you in. Please do remember that this work continues because of your support. There is actually a direct relationship between your generous support and our ability to be able to do this. And so please consider giving to the paybill number 316, and the account number is your phone number. If you'd like to give through the bank, that will be through our cooperative bank account. That is 0113 600 799 100. That is 0113 600 799 100. And the account name will be TBN Family Media. Thank you so much. May you have keep up the spirit of Christmas as you serve someone today and in the rest of the month. God bless you.